Hello, I'm Hannah, and this is Hannah's Books. For a long time, I've been watching What's Cheering Me Up Right Now videos on Gina Stanier's channel and on other channels ranging from Shelley Swearingen's to Steve Donahue's. And periodically, I scratch down lists of things I could talk about. Maybe someday soon I'll talk about some of those random pleasures, but today I want to talk about a few deeply personal things that are bringing me joy and peace and a sense of connection with people I love. Almost every night, and sometimes in the morning, I hear my spouse David doing his vocal exercises. David has brain cancer, and as his disease has progressed, his voice has gotten weaker and weaker. Wildly, at some point, with the help of a speech therapist, he discovered that when he sings, his voice seems to magically return. And for hours after a singing session, his voice stays fairly strong, even when he's just chatting with me. So, what I sometimes wake up to is David belting out, "Oh, what a beautiful morning!" And it never fails to bring a huge smile across my face. More on the singing in a moment. Over the last few months, friends from throughout David's lifetime have come to visit. Due to his compromised immune system, we're still extremely COVID careful, only hosting visitors outside. Now that it's hard for him to get to the backyard due to an elevation change that requires steps or a steep ramp that's fairly hard to negotiate even in a wheelchair, we decided to spiff up our little cupboard front stoop. I put out a colorful outdoor rug, bought some fairy lights for the ceiling, set up a tiny table, and pulled in a couple of plastic patio chairs for guests. When folks come over, even if it's raining, it's a comfortable spot. We take out an electric heat lamp or a couple of small electric blankets to keep us warm on really cold days. And finally, we add in David's special chair, which usually lives indoors, and we're all set to spend some time with local friends as well as people from further afield. A week ago, a friend who lives in Canada came down to visit and spent 2 afternoons with us on the stoop. David first met Mo at summer camp when they were 13 or so. Actually, it was nerd camp. Then they found themselves at the same college, and then they both became staff members at the same summer camp where they originally met. Actually, this is where I entered the story. I too worked at nerd camp with them. Between annual in-person camp reunions and monthly Zoom get-togethers, former campers from that amazing program have stayed in touch. And Mo is not the only former camper that's visited our newly spiffed up stoop. This past weekend, Andrea came to visit. She too was not only a fellow camper, but a fellow college classmate of David's and a fellow member of the nerd camp staff. As we sat on our little porch on Sunday afternoon, we started talking about singing. I don't remember how the subject came up, although it might be that I mentioned how much I loved hearing David do his speech therapy each day. Andrea smiled and started reminiscing about singing together at summer camp. In fact, when they were on the staff, David and Andrea had sung "Leaving on a Jet Plane" together, accompanied by Mo, the woman who had visited us the weekend before, on guitar to end a camp talent show held on the last night of the session, right before everyone had to say their tearful goodbyes until the next year. I immediately asked if they would try singing it together again, perhaps letting me film them. David deferred. He's always had a lovely voice, singing in choirs and even soloing at friends' weddings, etc. Now, because of his disease, he's lost some of the ability to control not just his volume, but his pitch, although he still sings in key far better than I ever have. Anyway, the idea of getting to sing again with Andrea quickly convinced him, and with their permission, I'll share a bit of their performance.
Now the time has come to leave you one more time. Now let me kiss you, then close your eyes, and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone, about the times that I won't have to say. Kiss me and smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go, but I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go.
Holding my phone in front of me to film them, I teared up with joy as I watched. And then when David looked at me and sang those words, "Oh babe, I hate to go," well, I'm not sure those tears were exactly what people would normally see as, quote, cheering them up, but it definitely meant a lot to me, and I'm so glad to have this spur-of-the-moment footage. Well, let me share one more teary-eyed joy with you. In my last video of 2022, I mentioned that David had just published an essay in HuffPost about knitting a sweater for our son Abe, and that after that essay was in the publication process, he was able to finish knitting all the main parts of the sweater. That essay has, as they say, gone viral. David's editor let him know that it's been viewed nearly 2 million times. We've been astonished by the folks who've run across it. When it got circulated in multiple online knitting groups, we heard from people who had belonged to a local knitting circle held at a local cafe/wine shop we attended back when Abe was young, even though those fellow knitters now live scattered all over the country. The essay also made the rounds in neurosurgery online discussion groups, and David's original neurosurgeon, who we've not seen in a few years since he moved to a different hospital out of state, ran across it and contacted us, etc. Well, I promised to share pictures when the sweater was fully complete, that is, seamed and blocked, work I helped do. Here it is on the blocking board, a set of foam squares that fit together like a puzzle that allows one to pin out a sweater to the proper dimensions. And here it is modeled by our son. Well, thank you, Gina and Shelley, for sharing your great videos and inspiring me to make this one. And to the YouTuber who started the tradition, Hannah Louise Preston. Nice first name, by the way. And thanks to all of you for joining me today here on Hannah's Books. See you soon.